or when people just want to spew hate, what's the motive? Sometimes I don't get it. You have rock stars, movie stars that take political sides in ways that make no sense if you're a calm, rational, educated person. Now, my partner in crime here, David, has got a little bit of something to say about this. Welcome, guys. My name's Stuart Brisgell. That's David Solomon. And this is a podcast hosted about giving uncensored conversation on a wide range of topics. This podcast is dedicated on a platform that allows us to express opinions, thoughts, experiences, and ideas from a variety of perspectives. Bottom line, it's an honest opinion. Join us as we dive into the latest news, pop culture, and so much more. Rants about absurdity. Well, it's not hard to find in this day and age of modern life to discussion deeper issues affecting society. The Rant Network, we've got you covered. So sit back, relax. David, let her rip.
You know, ladies and gentlemen, I got to tell you, first of all, Stuart, welcome back. It's good to have you back. You know, the incredible thing about the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, and I'll call it that, and it shouldn't be Palestinian, it's Israel and Hamas. I got to be very clear. It's Israel and Hamas, although everybody want to make it's about Palestine. It's really about Hamas. As was evident yesterday when undercover Israeli soldiers were into a hospital in the West Bank to take out a bunch of Hamas soldiers. I mean, imagine this is the situation that Israel has to go into hospitals. We've discovered this since October the 7th. Israel's going into hospitals to have to find terrorists. It's crazy, right? And yet, the blame game is on Israel. It's been on Israel since mid-October. Everybody jumped on it. And initially, Stuart, we remember when Black Lives Matter put out that cartoon, like mimicking how the Hamas terrorists infiltrated Israel. And we saw that with other organizations. And it's again, we believe these lefty causes were just trying to be disturbers. Well, it seems that it just doesn't go away. We're about almost 120 days in. This is day 117. There are still hostages. Israelis were killed, murdered, burnt, raped. It's taken an incredible amount of effort by the Israeli government to present case after case after case of Hamas's war atrocities. It finally was acknowledged by, of all publications, the New York Times and the BBC, who hate Israel, about the rapes. It took the United Nations months to acknowledge it. And for every step that Israel takes forward, somebody's got to push Israel back. And in this case, the ICJ, the International Court of Justice, South Africa brings a case to the court. Apparently, Iran twisted South Africa's arms to present this case to the International Court of Justice. And all the world wants to hear, and I'm saying not the world, but the haters, that Israel is a genocidal state because they need to reinforce their cockeyed beliefs. But what I don't get, Stuart, and this is what is frustrating, is why should Sacramento City Council actually care about passing any resolution about this conflict? Did they do it about Russia and Ukraine? Nope. Did they do anything about the Uyghurs in China? Nope. When Syria killed 500,000 of their own people, did they do anything? Nope. Recently in Somalia, the displacement of people, did they do anything? Nope. In Pakistan, when 2 million Afghanis had to go back into Afghanistan and their homes were razed or destroyed and they were thrown out with just barely backpack on, did they do anything? Nope. Only one cause, only one conflict matters, and that is Israel and Palestine. And I'm putting in quotation marks for those of you who are listening. It's all about Palestine. And what does Sacramento Council have anything to do with this? At the same time, Stuart, unions are poking their nose where it simply doesn't belong. Again, same questions. Why is the Israeli-Hamas conflict the be-all and end-all that you need to pass an internal resolution, but not any other causes? And the reason I'm bringing this up is I'd like to thank the Canadian Union of Public Employees, Local 3903, that released a 15-page toolkit for teaching assistants at York University. Because you see, York University, like Concordia, like so many other universities, love to harbor the haters. Okay? If you walk through the school of York University, anti-Semitism has been rampant in that university for decades. Like Concordia, the protests have been violent. Like Concordia, the protests have been one-sided. Beautiful. And I'm bringing Concordia again and again because these two universities are the models of anti-Semitism of universities in Canada. Models.
Wait a minute. You're trying to tell me there's anti-Semites in Canada? Really?
I'm not even going to go that address that statement. But here's the thing. This union wants York to cut any ties it possibly could have with Israel, because Israel is an occupier. Israel's a genocidal state. And they went out so far to explicitly single out Hillel. Now, Hillel, for those of you who don't know, is a Jewish secular cultural group that's in almost every university around the world, which rallies anybody who identifies as a Jew and says, hey, come on in. Let's have a drink. Let's have a falafel. Let's sing and dance and learn. And there's nothing religious about it. Nothing, holy, my God. This is what they said. In the guide, they allege that York's, quote, economic academic relationships with various Zionist cultural institutions, example Hillel, serve as evidence of the university's complicity in Israel's occupation of Palestine. Stuart, why is this? I mean, other than hating Jews, what is this? Why is this union so vigilant? Didn't see this with Russia. Didn't see this with anyone else.
David, listen. You have transgender LGBTQ groups standing with Hamas. Why would you not think that this is just plain hatred?
I know.
It's very easy to hate. It really is. There's an old adage where, the Jews teach love and peace. If the Arabs taught, if the Hamas taught love and peace, there would be peace. They preach war, death, and destruction. And, the people that are, quote, standing up for Hamas are just idiots. I just can't say. And when you say academics like at York, these are people that represent the beautiful part of the wacky, lefty, stupid movement. And it's just ridiculous. Hillel is an organization that talks about what?
But my question to you is, and I know we'll talk about Hillel in just a second, but I just brought up Sacramento City Council and some obscure teachers union all have decided we're going to single out one institution again, one country again, and we are going to use every expression possible to prove how much we hate them.
Right. Well, you've got councilmen like Katie Venezuela and May Vang that are these anti-Semites in Sacramento who are proposing these insane measures. I mean, again, people want to be relevant on issues that are on the wrong side of history. It's really just that simple. These are irrelevant people who need to find controversial issues, or they're just bad.
I think it's worse than that. This is worse than that. I think that the left has indoctrinated people to such an extent that if we hate you because you're against us, all measures are on the table. There are no more limitations. Stuart, there were over Hillel, and the reason I'm a little more passionate about it is because I have a son who's in one of the universities in Ontario. I've met with the director of Hillel in his institution, who is trying to sit with that school to try to explain the depths of anti-Semitism. The universities are completely either blind or stupid to what's going on. Hillel reported
They're neither blind or stupid.
there
They're
are
intentionally doing this.
Hillel.
Yeah.
Just to give you an idea, Hillel, Ontario, all right, which is only a handful of universities, folks, have a reported 400 anti-Semitic incidents since the October 7th. And here's the thing. It doesn't matter what they do. Another mezuzah was just ripped off doors. Imagine anybody else would do that. The fact that a teachers union is, promoting it. If a city council goes so far and pass a resolution like that, you basically are passing resolutions to promote hate. Isn't that ironic? California universities that are all this left-leaning DEI, kumbaya type of institutions, once again are singling out Jews as the hateful group. Amazing. It can only be hate. It cannot be anything more than that.
David, that's exactly what I'm trying to say, is that there is no logical explanation other than hate, stupidity, ignorance. When people like to say, from the river to the sea, and they mindlessly just say that, is it just mindless? Or is there just pure hatred?
But Stuart, it is because look, I'll give you an example where my son's university is at, the gender studies program. Gender studies, not politics, nothing more. Gender studies put out a similar statement. Okay, this is going back a couple of months, right? That Israel's a genocidal
But are these statements? Yeah, but let's follow the money.
No, forget the money. It's not about the money, Stuart. No, I know what you're going to say, and we've ranted about this, Stuart. But the messaging I'm saying is, when a city council wants to debate it, when a university union is saying you have to follow our policies because we're going to use racist statements that are completely baseless to denounce and to tear apart. I mean, it's just, to me, it's just the hate has reached a level that the left has claimed needs to go away, and they're pushing it up. They're the ones promoting the hate.
Yep.
As long as you don't hate the groups we support, you're not allowed to touch them. Okay? Nancy Pelosi, I'll give you an idea, has gone after these protesters that are saying, go back to China, and already there's a scandal. Okay? She tied those once she tied pro-Palestinian protesters with Russia. Okay, now we don't have to say anything. The selectiveness, the attitude, the hate, the visceral hate towards Jews is reached an incredible level. Stuart, my wife works with Holocaust survivors, and we promised them never again. And here we are in 2024. No different than Europe in the 1930s and America in the 1930s, by the way.
Wow, David, you're taking one out of my playbook.
I understand.
I'm trying to draw a reference to different times. I mean, listen, events of the past are extremely important, and the left wants to erase history. And again, something that we've also talked about, but we can get into this another time. But bottom line, David, is it's just hate or people seeking relevance under the guise of hate because they really don't care how to get a rise into popularityism at all. And
maybe with the city council, I agree with you, but the union blows my mind. Anyway, Stuart, let's wrap this up.
I'll just take the last word. David, what else would you expect? That's all I got to say.
Sadly, Stuart, I've come to expect that people the hate is still deep.
Well, that's all for today's episode. Thanks for tuning in. David had a heck of a lot to say today. At the Rent Network, we always enjoy the nice, smart conversation. We hope you've gained some valuable insight. We're going to appreciate your comments and your messages. We appreciate your support. Join us again next time on another thought-provoking conversation every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, noon Eastern. In the meantime, don't forget to follow us on social media. We just added Kick. I believe we're adding in, what are those we adding in, David? I think we're trying to get TikTok. We're trying to get that one up and running too. So in the meantime, keep on ranting, keep listening, keep liking.